Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the fairly new feature in Lightroom, and that is the ability to combine images into an HDR high dynamic range file. Now for many years there have been applications that support combining wide ranges of exposures of a single subject into one image, and if you look online and search for HDR photography, you're going to find a whole lot of really surreal, crazy saturated images. But what I like about how Adobe has implemented the HDR feature into Lightroom is the fact that it creates a very naturalistic looking image without creating that super surreal non-photographic look that borders more on painting. Some people find this a severe deficit. However, I see it as an advantage. The second advantage is that this feature creates a DNG file, which is a digital negative RAW file, and that is a fantastic thing. So what I have here are 4 images of an extremely high dynamic range scene. What we've done so far is just put them in a collection, as you can see over here, and we'll talk more about collections in another section. So a few things about shooting HDR images that you want to create a composite of. Lock it down on a tripod. Keep your aperture or your depth of field the same, because you don't want the focus to change during the capture, and just vary the shutter speed. Those are the three big things. So now that we have these, all we have to do is go up to Photo, Photo Merge, HDR. The shortcut is Control-H on both Mac and PC. Some people criticize this application for being fairly slow. I guess relatively it might be a little bit slower than some third-party applications, but I'm not always in a hurry. All right, so what we have here is a preview, and you have a few options. Auto align, make sure that any little bit of misalignment that may have happened if your tripod shifted a little bit. You can even shoot these handheld if you're really stable and shoot them fairly quickly, and it does a pretty decent job. Auto tone will look at the information and automatically adjust the exposure, and what you'll see when you get into the develop module is that it will adjust the sliders to create a starting point. This is basically just a convenience option. The deghost allows for on-the-fly masking of things that might change between, in this case, the 4 exposures. Say a bird flew in the scene, or there was a squirrel running across the lava in one image. It would automatically say, hey, this is present in one image, it's not present in the others, mask it out. The downside is sometimes you'll get some increased noise when the masked area is taken from a underexposed portion of the frame. So like if a bird was flying, or you could see something in here, and it would be very noisy if you opened this up over here. That's just something to pay attention to. So in this case, I don't think anything moved. There was nothing but just lava and cloud. So we're going to keep this off. And if you do turn it on, you can tell it to show where it is doing on-the-fly masking. And then all you do is hit merge. All right, so what we have here is a new file. If you hit I, you can see that the DNG file, which has been created, it's a 16-bit DNG extracted from the raw 32-bit information. And from what I've read, Adobe said having this be an actual 32-bit file is just really complicated. There's a huge amount of processing power required, so they just opted to go with a refined 16-bit extracted from the original compiled data. So it's a raw file, DNG, and it's been appended HDR. You can change this in post with renaming if you want. So if we pop into develop, you will see that by default, these adjustments have already been made. There are some online reviews saying that you can get the exact same look from a file like this. And you might look at this and go, well, that one looks better. My argument is that it has a very low noise comparatively if you were just to take one of these images that was not HDR and tweak it. So the advantage is in a lower overall noise amount. So that is the first step. In the next part, I'm going to show you how I might post-produce this particular image.